I want to talk about alimony, and specifically I want to talk about some of the factors that courts will look at in trying to determine an alimony award. When I say alimony, I could also say spousal support. I might use them interchangeably. As we have addressed, and as you are probably aware, alimony has two sort of primary factors. Number one is a need on the part of the recipient, and number two is an ability to pay on the part of the person who would be paying, right? But there's more to it than just need and ability to pay. There are other things that go into it. So when we talk about need, and I want to focus on the factors within need, the need needs to stem from the marriage, right? It's got to be created by or during the marriage or because of the marriage. A good example of this would be when two parties are together as husband and wife and they decide that one of them is going to be a stay-at-home parent and stop earning an income and focus on making sure that the home is well cared for, the child is well cared for, and takes on those responsibilities. So when we have this type of situation, what are some of the factors that the court is going to look at underneath our umbrella of need and ability? Okay, so the court's going to consider a few things, such as each party's health. That's significant. The length of the marriage, very, very important factor. The longer that we are married, the more likely we are to end up with a spousal support award rather than having a shorter marriage. Okay. The earning capacity of the person who's going to pay and the person who's going to be receiving the benefits. Whether the marriage was one of affection or convenience. This still can come up, right? What was the reason that we were entering into the marital contract? The receiving person's assistance toward the other person's accumulation of wealth, and you might see this in a situation in which there's a family-owned business and there's one person who is primarily responsible for that business and the other one may be doing the books or answering the phones, things such as this. What are the opportunities that are available to the other person who needs that money? What's the length of time that we anticipate that the recipient would need to receive that benefit? Because alimony is to help assist in getting through the sort of the obstruction, the interference that the divorce case is going to cause, the economic impact of the divorce, if you will. Older cases considered the conduct of the parties, right? Was somebody doing something they shouldn't have been doing? Are there fault issues? That's less of a thing anymore and basically has been removed, but there may be still instances in which conduct could come into play. What were their roles with respect to the household, right? Was one primarily taking care of all issues or the majority of issues related to the child or children? Were they splitting that equally? This is a factor that they're going to consider. The recipient, does that person have an educational background? Do they have certifications? Have they kept up with that such that they could re-enter the workforce, right? And when we talk about this, we also need to remember the age of each of these individuals. So when some of these factors, right, as you're listening to this non-exhaustive list, right, there's other factors as well. They're sort of interwoven, right? The capacity for earning of each party. Well, that also ties into the age of each party. The educational background of the parties. That can tie into their earning capacity, right? What they were doing during the marriage, where the need arose, the likelihood of being able to transition them quickly, or just how long do we need to transition this person from the lifestyle that they are accustomed to the divorce lifestyle, right? So what they're accustomed to plays a role in it, right? What is their status in life, right? And this takes into account education, age, family relations, how invested they are in the community, employment prospects. We've got a number of factors that look at need and to a certain extent, ability to pay, right? Earning capacity of the person who's going to pay, that takes into account their ability to pay beyond right now. So if you find yourself in a situation in which you're getting divorced and you think that a spousal support or alimony award may be appropriate, number one, contact an attorney and get representation. Number two, start gathering witnesses, documents, exhibits, evidence that could go toward these factors: need and ability to pay. For more information, visit our website, www.pdtulsalaw.com.